shining wisdom's light, teaching soul tribe how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Through her channel, knowledge flows, breaking chains that hold us close, teaching paths to abundance and wealth, guiding others to free themselves. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul tribe rising, hear a call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way to a new and brighter day.
All right, family, welcome. It's so good to see everybody. Happy 13th. Happy Friday the 13th. This is a wonderful time to celebrate, right? Unlike what other people say about 13, 13 is actually a number of peace, wealth, and prosperity. In fact, the ancient indigenous peoples used to say, let he or she who understand the meaning of the number 15 receive peace, power, and prosperity. So remember the 3 P's as it relates to 13. It's a highly vibrational number. So happy Friday the 13th. And as we say here, happy Friday. Yay! Woo! This is March the 13th, 2026, and the time is 2:17 p.m. Now it's a wonderful reason for celebrating on the 17th, right? But so this is the 17th or 2:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all are checking in from all over the world. Thank you so very much. I'm excited because I know that things are happening. Now, I'm not going to be on long because I do have somewhere to be, but I just wanted to encourage the Soul Tribe. When you talk to people about a global currency reset, some people say it's not happening. It doesn't make sense. In fact, I told you all that I'm writing a book. And as I was talking to some colleagues and fact checking myself, Even some people in the financial industry will say, no, there's no such thing as a global currency reset. And even if you try to get Grok to fact check you to see, they'll say, oh, no, that can't happen. Okay. So I started actually arguing, or I should say debating, with some of these online people and some of these people in the financial area, and also with Grok or whatever you call these AI. And so the agreement we came to is that while there is no verified overnight monetary reset, not verified, we do know there is clear documented evidence of global restructuring and global monetary realignment. That's the way people want you to phrase it. So, well, let's talk about global restructuring and global monetary realignment. But we like the phrase global currency reset, but it's all the same thing. A global currency reset just refers to a large scale reordering of the global monetary system. And you do so because you want to make sure all the currencies align in either value or structure to better reflect the reality of current economics and geopolitical tensions. So, what is the current economic and geopolitical situation that's going on right now? Well, we see countries depegging from the United States dollar and repegging to gold. We see a shift totally away from the United States dollar as the world's primary world reserve currency. And we see global cooperation regarding monetary policies. In fact, in my private group, I've discussed and I've shown how many countries have stated that they have new economic and monetary policies in place to ensure that their countries are stable. Iraq did it. They released new economic policies and monetary policies to prove that they were a stable country economically. We saw Vietnam do the same thing, and Venezuela, as well as some other currencies. But just stick with me here, because now I'm going to show you how countries have unveiled their new currencies. And I'm going to show you which countries have unveiled their new currencies. This cannot be a mere coincidence, family. So the global currency reset, again, it refers to a large-scale reordering of the global monetary system in which currencies around the world are realigned in either value or structure to better reflect the reality of current economic and geopolitical tensions. So what is the current economic and geopolitical tension? All nations around the world are saying we don't want to trade with the United States dollar anymore, because in order to do that, we had to bow down to the United States Incorporated and go abide by all their rules. We couldn't use our own currencies, right? So you all know what made the United States dollar the world reserve currency was the United States Incorporated, not America, the United States Incorporated's agreement with Saudi Arabia to protect the Saudi kingdom in exchange for their oil, and thereby force all nations to get oil only from Saudi Arabia, and they had to use the United States dollar to do so. The United States dollar, the USD, the fiat dollar, is attached to the Federal Reserve Central Banking System, which is the banking system of the United States Incorporated. Well, all countries all over the world have said, we're done. We're done. We're not doing that anymore. And that's one of the reasons why BRICS was created. Keep chiming in, keep chatting, family. So BRICS was created, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, that union, for many reasons, but one of the reasons, other than trade agreements between those nations, was to ensure that nations had a safe place, a refuge to go to, so they can have an alliance as they depeg from the United States dollar. And this is what we see happening. So when I was talking to my colleagues about this, of course, some were like, but there's no proof. Well, but there is proof of global restructuring. There is proof, and I'm going to show it to you. And so I said, I actually went down the line, and you guys go down the line with me. So if you want me to put it in layman's terms about what a global currency reset is, it's basically all the countries saying we're going to use our own currencies, backed by the precious metals and backed by the resources that our countries have. So we're depegging from the United States dollar, using our own local currencies for trade, backed by the resources that each nation has. And that would then put all of the currencies on par, one-to-one with each other. And President Trump said that under his first administration. He said, regarding the devaluation of currencies, I've been concerned about that for a long time. But in order to do something about it, I'm going to bring everybody to the table. And we're going to create trade agreements. And if they don't agree, we're going to put tariffs on those countries because they've been sending and exporting their goods from their countries into our country with no taxes. But anytime we send anything to their country, they tax us. But we're going to balance out the scales. So what we do see is, and I've shown you all the proof this, nations are reducing reliance on the United States dollar for settlement. Okay. Central banks all across the globe have accumulated gold in record numbers. Central banks across the globe have accumulated gold at historic levels and now recognize gold as a tier 1 asset. Remember, we always discuss how banks have to be Basel III compliant, meaning they all have to recognize gold as a tier 1 asset. In layman's terms, they have to recognize gold as money, not US dollars, gold. And all the banks that are now operating, they have to have this compliancy met. Recognize gold as a tier 1 asset and also have tier 2 foreign reserve notes. So additionally, states within the Union, within America, have removed income taxes and repealed precious metals taxation. I've shown you all that. 46 states in America have already repealed or removed the sales tax from precious metals. What does that mean? That means that states here in America are acknowledging gold as lawful money. Now, no, we didn't need states to do that to pass legislation because the Constitution for the Republic already says that silver and gold is money, and that the dollar is defined as the fixed weight of gold and the fixed weight of silver, and that the only thing that can be used to pay off debts, according to Article 1, Section 10, is silver and gold. But the United States Incorporated has a system in place, and while it's being dismantled, the legislatures, the lawmakers, the benevolent ones are using the tools and tactics of the deep state against the deep state. You said we can push forth bills and they have to be passed. Okay, we're going to push forth bills and pass those bills to say you can no longer tax silver and gold. So let me recap. How can we prove that this is happening? A global currency reset. Nations are reducing reliance on the United States dollar. Central banks across the globe are Basel III compliant. They recognize gold as a tier 1 asset. That's not a mere coincidence. State in the United States Incorporated have removed the state sales taxes from the sales of precious metals, and African nations have reclaimed their sovereignty from former colonial powers. They've kicked out the colonists, and they're building independent payment platforms. Look it up. Specifically, when you think about the French colonized African nations, Niger, Bali, Burkina Faso, Chad, and Senegal, all of those nations kicked out the French, and now the French are suffering, right, financially and economically, because they can no longer grab a hold to or exploit the wealth from the African nations. But it's not just those French colonized nations. The African nations have said we will be one Africa. We will have one payment platform. They're working towards having one currency, one military, and one union. So the African nations also have completely removed themselves from the United States Incorporated. Now, the Berlin Conference, which was formed by European nations, they called it Scrabble for Africa. The Berlin Conference, where they all met and decided we're going to divide the continent of Africa for ourselves and we're going to exploit the wealth. That's not the only agreement that occurred across the world. There were countries that came to the Americas, the French, the Dutch, the Spanish, and more. and I'll go into detail that in another podcast, that came and colonized the American indigenous people here too and stole the wealth. But all that is being reversed. All that, family, as countries are becoming sovereign and countries are standing on their own, saying we are done with the United States Incorporated. Now, the BRIC nations have decided that they're going to depeg from the dollar, but they also expanded in membership. You all already know this, but I'm just letting you see that there's a big picture. When you put all the puzzle pieces together, you can see that we are experiencing a global monetary restructuring and a global currency reset. So all these countries that joined, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and depegging from the dollar and using their own local currencies for trade, have made a stance that they're now sovereign, that they now cannot be controlled by the United States Incorporated. Here in America, Trump is standing with BRICS by using the tools of the deep state to take down the deep state. What is the tools of the deep state he's using? He's using executive orders to take down the United States Incorporated. Somebody asked me, how can a president of the corporation take down a corporation? Well, he's doing it by military backing, because we're already under military occupation. We're already under the orders of the military. The military is in control. This is why Trump met with the military. And it said, the article said, military leaders all across the globe. He met them in September of 2025 before the government shutdown. And he sent the National Guard and military people all across the Americas, because he's using executive orders to take down the deep state against them. And he's using the military to go in and make arrests. So the BRICS nations and the United States Incorporated and African nations, and you have the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Asian nations, are all colluding against the United States Incorporated. That's not to be confused with America. That's the United States Incorporated. The biggest thing they can do is affect the money of the United States Incorporated. You want to hurt somebody? Affect their pockets. This is what the whole world is doing. They're neglecting the United States dollar. They're depegging completely from it. They have returned their stolen money from the Vatican and other places. They've worked with other countries to return their stolen money. And they've accumulated gold in record numbers since the pandemic. And we've gone over articles to show that, but you can look it up. So geopolitical alliances have shifted away from supporting the United States Incorporated, the US, and now they're forming agreements. So we used to say secret agreements, but now it's open agreements that they form to work together against the United States Incorporated. These developments are public. You can look it up. They're also measurable, and this is historic. This is something that we haven't seen in our lifetime. Countries accumulating gold in record numbers, depegging from the dollar, forming alliances outside the United States Incorporated, forming their own military, saying we're going to have one payment platform, speaking of the African nations. And then not just the African nations saying they're going to have one payment platform, one monetary system, and what else? One alliance, one military, and one passport. But you have other nations that are saying we're going to stand on our own as a sovereign entity. In fact, BRICS has its own payment platform that's attached to many countries, hundreds of countries all across the globe. So this is the proof that we have of the global currency reset. Keep checking in. Grand Rising. It's good to see everybody. Some people are saying he's the president of the Republic. Others say he's the president of the United States Incorporated. No matter which way we see it, he is the commander in chief of the military, correct? And he is the one that was chosen to take down the deep state. But I do have to be somewhere at 3, so let me quickly show you. Thank you, family. I see Chief Max in the house. I'm going to quickly show you, and I don't know if Chief Max is going to come in just to give us a wrap it up in conclusion before I go, but I want to show you how many countries have already unveiled their new currencies. This cannot be a mere coincidence, okay? This has been happening over the last few years where countries have said we're going to do away with our old currencies and we're going to bring in some redenominated currencies. Okay, here we go. I just want the family to be encouraged. As soon as I can find that, here we go. New currencies unveiled. Okay, let me get back here. One of the first ones that I saw when I first did this podcast, I showed this actually to the Soul Tribe membership group months ago, how countries were starting to unveil their new currencies. But let me just show you here how Syria, which has been in the news for a while, had officially unveiled their new currency actually in December of 2025, but it wasn't necessarily something that people were talking about openly. So it said this article came out by BRICS News that said just in, Syria officially unveils their new currency under the leadership of President Ahmad al-Sharia. This came out by the BBC. The Bank of England, to redesign their banknotes and wants your help. Hold on, let me see. I tried to make that bigger for you all to see. And please forgive me for rushing. I have to be somewhere at 3 o'clock. Okay, so the Bank of England, that's another country. And now, of course, I'm having issues. Okay. So we got Syria, the Bank of England, Japan released their new banknotes for the first time in 20 years. And then let's see, the Indian rupee, which by the way, we just got notification that the Indian rupee just hit a new all-time low. Now, what do you know about economics? What do they say about the dip? If something is low, what do? If you're an investor, you buy low, sell high. You buy the dip, as Sister Cleo says in my membership group. So this article says finally got the new CBSL 2000 rupees banknote celebrating the 75th years of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Sri Lankan rupee. I found the water lily and the modern style map very beautiful. Here is to continue strength and respect, or especially independence of the central bank, critical for country growth. So I was wrong. This is not India's rupee. This is the Sri Lankan rupee, but India's rupee did just hit a new low, historic low, their currencies. Here is the Central Bank of Kenya. New currency. The European Central Bank. We're redesigning our Euro bank notes. Our governing council has selected motifs based on our two chosen themes, European culture and rivers and birds. We'll be launching design contests later this year to help us select the final design in 2026. Who else? The new Bank of England notes here coming out. The Reserve Bank of India issued their new $500 notes. Argentina released a new $10,000 peso bill or 10,000 peso note. Russia, new currency. As of January 1st, 2026, these banknotes will become part of the Bulgaria's daily life. Bulgaria released new currency. Who is this? Norwegian's new currency. Norwegia, how do you say Norway's new currency, at least released a new currency. New Falkland Island unveiled their new currency. The Central Bank of Sudan issued a new currency. The Philippines, the Bank of the Philippines released and unveiled new currency. Australia released new currency. Guatemala released new currency. Iran is set to remove 4 zeros. Why do countries remove zeros? Well, let's think about why they add new zeros. Iran had added zeros, just like Zimbabwe, just like Hungary, just like Venezuela and some of these other countries. They added zeros when their country was sanctioned or their country had gone through war. And in order to deal with hyperinflation, they printed out more money and they added zeros. That devalued their currency. So if you add zeros because you're dealing with hyperinflation and it devalues your currency, and then you remove zeros, what are you doing? You're revaluing your currency and you've dealt with hyperinflation. So it doesn't matter what the mainstream media says about Iran is going to war with America and Israel, and this is a big conflict. I'm telling you that behind the scenes, Iran is already on par and on schedule to revalue their currency and prepare or participate in the global currency reset. This is why Trump said last year, I believe Iran is going to secede. And he said, I probably will remove sanctions from Iran. This is when our private group said, all right, we know what to do about Iran before this war broke out. We talked about this last year. He said, I think they're going to agree, and I'm going to remove sanctions because I think they're going to agree with me. He said that last year. And then right after that, Iran said we're set to remove 4 zeros. And they did. It's just that people don't know where to get the new Iranian currency because Iran is still currently under sanctions. So all I'm saying, family, is it's done. It's done. And having said that, family, I know I got to get ready to go, but I'm going to bring Chief Mac up because we want to encourage the Soul Tribe. Oh, man, y'all see my statue? This was a family heirloom, but the head fell off. This is a family heirloom that represents my great-grandmother. It was built in her image and honor. She was knitting something, but the head fell off and we got to get it replaced. I just noticed that. I know it has fallen off, but I just noticed that it was in the view of the Soul family. So I want you to see what it is. It's something that's been passed down from the time my great grandmother all the way down to me. That's the one who was married to my great grandfather, Manuel Gomez, who left a silver that unfortunately got spent before my generation was able to enjoy the wealth. But that's another podcast. We'll talk about my family and how the wealth got spent later. But Chief Mac, we're going to bring on Chief Mac. Family, welcome Chief Mac to the show because he wants to give some more news.
Hey, Kim.
To encourage the Soul Tribe. Hey, Chief.
How you guys doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. We're doing great. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rushing, but I just wanted to show the people, Chief, that new currencies are being unveiled.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't see it. I was showing different currencies. I showed a slideshow.
It's a cool day here in the Midwest. It's been we had tornadoes and different things like that, so they definitely working with the weather.
What do you think? How close do you think? Go ahead.
It's been
how close quiet. Do you think we are?
Based on the intel about the any RVs happen, so it's always quiet before the storm. But things are moving ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But companies have started to lay off people. I just got word just this morning that a company in Indianapolis laid off all of their workers.
Wow.
They laid off all their workers. So the gas prices are going up. So it's a telltale sign that companies are moving away from the U.S. dollar.
True.
We said it was going to happen. So it's just a trend that's going to happen. You're going to start seeing more layoffs and more layoffs. And that's for us who have made the investments, the more layoffs happening and things like that happen. It's just to ensure to us that that the RV is on its way.
Yes, sir.
And I got a text message from William at Banknote World a few days ago saying he's continuing to run specials because they're trying to offload and get rid of the foreign currency that they do have. So this
Speaking of
thing
foreign
is going to
currency,
go down. Yes,
go ahead.
it's definitely going to go down because the banks are telling us that it's going to go down. Basel three
Mhm.
compliance. They're hooking up with the new monetary system. So the banks are just watch that. So the moves are being done to ensure to those of us that have made the investment spiritually, mentally, and emotionally that it's going to happen. And it doesn't supposed to happen overnight. It's not supposed to happen when we think it's going to happen. But we just know the signs are there that's ensure that it's going to happen, right? Just like Kuwait 2.0. It looks like that, Kim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kuwait was trying to do everything that they could say, and there was the powers that be behind Kuwait that were trying to convince people that it wasn't going to happen. They even said, in fact, whatever they say, believe just the opposite.
Absolutely.
They
You gotta
said it
believe
wasn't going
because
to happen.
they're
Then a
not gonna
blackout
tell us.
happened, and
Mm-hmm.
all of this happened in the month of March in 1991. Am I correct here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Chief, somebody is asking, what about the currencies that we have? Because I showed a slideshow of the new currencies that's been unveiled. So the currencies that you are already have, like the Zimbabwe. Remember, as as we know, the Zimbabwe and Zim, they unveiled their new currency. What about 2020 or 2021? And it's called the Zig or the Zim Gold. This is what it looks like. So yes, Zimbabwe released a new currency. Um, who else? Venezuela. Venezuela also released a new currency about 2018 because I still have the old currency, but they unveiled their new currency around 2018, between 2018 and 2020 as well. So people know about the Sobanero and the digitales. I still have the Fuertes, the old ones. So yes, a lot of the currencies that you all have already, they've unveiled their new ones. They're just waiting for the signal. And President Trump is most likely the one that's going to give the signal for the whole system to be to be initiated or triggered. But you got about 60 seconds of final words. I'm sorry, that was my son calling. He's coming to pick me up.
Okay, Kev. Well, we're good, Kev. We appreciate you coming on and giving a quick intel like that. We're good on that. Possibly maybe going live tonight. For those of you
Okay.
who have got your trust, email me. I'm here. I'm working. I've answered a lot of emails and got a lot of trust to people right now. So if you instantly get the trust, email me at
For
unityinmotion45 at yahoo.com. And that would be a $75 consultation fee at Cash App. It would be Allen Judah 47. That's ALLENJUDAH 47. And let's get this thing popping, man. It's going down.
Let's get
It's
it
going
popping.
down.
Let's get it started. Absolutely. I put it in the chat, family. I'm so sorry we have to rush, but let me thank Chief Mac publicly for blessing me on the Dr. Kia Pruitt show this morning. He surprised me, which he always does. I just look at my phone and I get a ding ding. So thank you, Chief Mac. Who else? Sometris Hilton gave me an offering Wednesday. Sister Dina Richardson, you blessed me. Chief Mac gave me something the other day as well. A brother Corey, HBK IK gave me something. Michelle Speaks Life. Martin Moore. Beautiful Max Ministry. That's Chief Mac. Myra Thomas. Thank you. Bessie Carmick. Thank you. Ruby, Sister Ruby Melton. Thank you so much. Sister Sharon Robinson. Thank you for the gift. Oh gosh, who else is this? Bernard, Larry Charity. So many of you, Sister Tiffany Webb. I am so grateful for all of you. I love you so much, family. That's it, Chief. I got to run. I'm so sorry that I got to go so quickly. Can you hear me, Chief? I don't think Chief can
They're
hear me.
praising up.
So, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me. So that's it, family. You've heard from Chief Mac. Contact him, unityinmotion45 at yahoo.com. I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. Thank you for the Cash App gifts at $ Mama Kia 13. What are you going to say, Chief? Chief can't hear me. So that's it, family. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. See you,
I'm
T.
good, Dr. Cares. Y'all take care.
I'm so sorry we got to run, family. We love you so much. Take care. Happy 13th and happy Friday. Yay! Stay encouraged. I'm
Dr. Kia preached, shining wisdom's light, teaching soul tribe how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day.
Bye, Soul Tribe, and happy birthday, Sister Janine. I will have to call you or send you a text soon. I'm on my way out. I love you all so much, family. Please stay encouraged. And if you're wondering how you can make it in the meantime, because I know we're living in precarious times, the economy is rough right now. Gas prices are up. Inflation is up. Prices all over up. People are losing their jobs. Please go back and listen to my podcast I did the other day. I left 2 podcasts on how we can survive right now during these precarious economic times. I love you. Bye-bye.